and welcome back to All Roads Lead to Bravo and Reality TV with Jsyka. So much to recap, guys, so much. We're going to recap the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Real Housewives of Miami in this episode. I saw everything online. I've seen the whole, backlash with Garcelle and Dorit and the attack situation and the carrying of it all. We're going to talk about it, and of course, we're going to talk about the launch and, of course, Guerdy and Russell. Russell is, if you're watching on YouTube, he is literally the best husband on Bravo. Like, my God, bawling my eyes out. And there are scenes like bawling my eyes out. But anyways, we have so much to recap, guys. So let's start now. All right, we're going to start with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The episode is called Relentless Erika. I don't know if that's the right episode title because Erika really was just in the beginning of the episode, but whatever. The episode really comes in. We start with basically from last episode where we have Denise and Erika going for each other. And like I said last episode, Denise is fighting the wrong fight. Her fight is with Rena concerning Brandy's situation. However, she can come at the ladies and say, you guys knew I was a newlywed. You guys knew like I love my husband and I have a family to protect. Why weren't you guys sticking up for me? That could have been her fight. And I think that should have been addressed to all the ladies. Maybe aside from Garcelle and Sutton, but all the ladies really. No one really stuck up for her aside from Garcelle that was like, yo, don't say that, And that was it. So I think that would have been a better fight. But bringing the fight to Erika and saying 4 years ago, something that we can see with the flashback, Erika apologized and we kind of all forgot about it, So I don't know why that was a fight that she decided to bring. It's just, unfortunately, felt like she was trying to spice up the show and it just didn't work. And if this was her way of coming back, I think she just cemented that she's just not housewife material. She's just not. Of course, social media is up. Everyone's talking about the fact that why did Erika bring up Sammy? Well, is it a firefight bringing up Sammy? Of course, it's a low blow. It's below the belt. However, it's housewife. And Erika said it like, did you think I wasn't going to do that? Especially when you're calling me a CUNT? Girl, I will. So whatever. I just feel bad for Denise. I think what she was trying to do just didn't work. It's like, babe. And I don't know. She didn't prep well or she prepped wrongly. It's just bad. It's just bad. But anyways, we start with, the next scene is when Erika goes over to Dorit's place to sort of discuss the whole attack and the whole situation with Garcelle. Simultaneously, we're seeing Garcelle on the phone with Sutton, and they're both talking about basically the whole situation. Now, from Garcelle's perspective, she's saying, I didn't sleep well. I cried all night. Why would someone that I'm around not understand that there are some words that you shouldn't use around me? And then we see Dorit as well. Erika is trying to educate her. And in all honesty, me watching it, did I think that Dorit had bad intentions or malicious intentions when she was saying that word? No. Dorit is someone that uses big words and she likes she wants to make a statement. That's Dorit. So I think she just likes using buzzwords exactly. And it just didn't work out because wrong person, wrong timing, wrong everything, And I think this is my take, allegedly. I believe that Garcelle and Dorit do not like each other. I'm sorry, they've never liked each other. Maybe Dorit has tried to like Garcelle, but I don't think Garcelle likes Dorit. And I think this is just because Dorit just gets under her skin, as Garcelle said. She just pisses her off. So even if someone else had said the word attack, I don't think Garcelle would have taken it that personal. But coming from Dorit and, of course, their history, I think it just annoyed Garcelle at that point. That's what I believe. And I think, yes, do we think that there might be some microaggressions and things like that, unconscious bias, and I don't know, because Dorit is the kind of person that she likes buzzwords. So I think intent matters too, guys. Like in this situation, I don't think Dorit intended to do that. So in my opinion, it didn't look that way. Me watching, but obviously I'm not Garcelle experiencing it, so I cannot speak from her own perspective. But as someone watching on TV, I'm seeing the intent. I'm seeing that Dorit doesn't mean it that way. Does it come across that way? Yeah. Number two, does Garcelle automatically think it's that way based on their history? Yes. So you can see from the history, Garcelle is automatically going to think the worst. And we'll get to the dinner at the end of the episode. Well, Erika tells her, you need to sit down with Garcelle and just have a conversation. Sutton is saying the same thing. I can't believe, I like the fact that you use the word privilege. Now, Sutton, I love you, my girl, but like, wrong person to say that, because you've had your own situations on the show as well. Don't do that, okay? And that's why social media, and I sort of agree. People are like, well, Garcelle, did you hold Sutton to the same fire? But like I said, Garcelle just does not like Dorit, in my opinion, allegedly. And when you don't like somebody, you're always going to think the worst of them automatically. You don't care if they're saying, hey, is that a new dress? Automatically, you're going to think, are you saying I can't afford it? You're not going to look at it as a friend. I'll be like, oh, yeah, it's a new dress. That's the thing. So there was no way Dorit would have come that Garcelle wouldn't have been pissed, because they're not friends. They don't like each other. Okay? So we see Alexandra and Sutton, and Alexandra is talking to her about the dates with Sal. Sutton is automatically defensive about the fact that Alexandra is saying, like, Sal says she's not funny. And I still think that if she had given him a second chance, it would have been a good date, because he is a quirky guy, and Sutton is quirky as well, but she wants a billionaire. And anyway, Alexandra tells her, okay, I have another date for you. His name is Steve. He's VP of sales. And Sutton is like, what's VP of sales? What kind of role is that? I know there are so many job titles these days, but I think VP of sales is vice president of sales. It's quite common. Anyways, Alexandra sets her up with him. He's cute. And we'll talk about that date later on. Oh, I can't even talk about it now. The date goes well. They're vibing. She's finally broken the course of the no second date situation, so she's going to go on a second date. Clearly, via social media, I do not think they're still together, but at least she has gone on a second date now, so that's good. And then we see Kim and Kyle. Kim comes to Kyle's house, and they're having conversations. And Kim is just talking about the family, how she misses the three sisters together. Hey, what do we need to do to get Kathy back? Like, so you guys can be friends, like sisters and friends, of course, again. And Carl is like, I don't even know if I want her in my life that way. Like, because I really think we need like a real like biopic on the Hilton sisters. Like, I know Kyle tried to do a TV show about their mom, but I think we need one about the sisters. Like, so many deep, like the stories these women have. It's like a whole movie, like unending TV show. Anyways, and Kim talks about the sacrifices that their mom made, and now that she's older, she realizes, how much she misses their mom, and everything the mom did really was for them, and of course they talk about Kathy and talk about, the whole just the Hilton sisters, and if and when they can get back together, and how they miss like family functions and things like that. And then we move over to Crystal's family. They're having dinner. Cute family as well. Crystal, talks to her husband rhobh about the dinner, and then we see what we've been seeing in the trailer that I do not know why Bravo did not show us, when Crystal says, this group wants me to scream. We don't even know the context. Like, it seems like they're just fading Crystal out of the show. Like, if Anna Marie was like a great housewife, I truly believe that Crystal will not come back next season. But because Anna Marie is such a horrible housewife, I think we're going to have Crystal next season. And I like Crystal, and I don't know why they keep, like fading out of the show. I don't know. I really don't understand. But she tweeted like that this second half of the season is about her. So I'm really hoping that we get to see Crystal, because I like her. I want her on the show. I really do. And I think she's also scared of speaking, because obviously the whole dark comment, and that just took a life of its own. So I think this time around she's like, I don't want to speak too much. I don't want to speak out of turn. I want to be exactly sure when I speak. That's why she couldn't like tell Dorit word for word that yes, you did say that, Sutton drank alcohol with her coffee. So I don't know. But anyway, she talks about her brother and the relationship with her brother, and how she feels obviously regrets on how she handled things. I really do hope that the brother can get in another relationship, and truly Crystal just stay out of it. He's in his 40s. He's going to find somebody. He's man enough to get somebody, old enough, strong enough to work out a relationship. Okay? And then obviously rhobh tells her, you're strong. You need to insert yourself more with the ladies, and, give your opinion and things like that. I already talked about Sutton's date. The date went well. That was fine. And then, which is, I guess, the dinner or the lunch that we are all waiting for, Garcelle and Dorit. Now, my thoughts on this are really easy and I guess simple in this situation. Did I think that Dorit meant bad, like malicious intentions? No. Dorit is just someone that talks a lot. likes using buzzwords, likes feeling like she's being deep in her conversations or in her thoughts, and then you end up saying the wrong words. Now, when they sat down, I think Garcelle already came not ready to move on, in my opinion. Can I understand that? Of course, because in Garcelle's sense, she's like, oh, I've been in this group for how many years now? Are you telling me you haven't learned anything? And you are the one that I've had these conversations with in the past. She's had it with Kyle, and immediately Kyle was like, learned everything and she's been good. But we've always had this conversation over and over and over and over and over. Like, at this point, this is Garcelle, what I believe Garcelle is thinking, allegedly. Like, you're not ready. And I'm not going to hold your hands at every stage to be like, hey, as a white girl, this is what you do. Don't do this near a black girl. No. But at the same time, do I think that Dorit is like, we're all friends. We're all friends here. If I cannot be myself around you, I don't want to walk on eggshells. And do I think the deep issue is the fact that they don't like each other? I'm sorry, they don't. It is so obvious that they don't like each other. It's ridiculous. Like, they do not like each other. And I know Dorit is trying, but even Dorit doesn't even like Garcelle. But I know Garcelle does not like Dorit, in my opinion. I'm sorry. And then Dorit saying that, hey, you know I'm Jewish. And Garcelle is like, what does that have to do with anything? I honestly think the reason why Dorit brought it up is because, hey, we're both marginalized. You know, we've had like, we know Jewish people, black people, they've gone through a lot. So we're marginalized communities, right? I would expect that we do have a lot more in common in the sense that, hey, we know what it is to be like, you know, second-class citizens, for lack of better words. So we should have had like more in common and be more friendly. I just don't know if Garcelle was listening. I don't think if Garcelle was even receiving anything Dorit was saying. And then Garcelle brings up the whole like Karen behavior and talks about when Dorit said, you know, we have people of color working for us. And then Garcelle is like, only brown people working for you. And she's like, well, no, not only brown people, but like even my mom's best friend is black. Now, this is just PSC. When someone is sort of accusing you or probing to find out if you're racist or if you have unconscious bias, never ever say, I know someone that's black. Look, that is actually the worst, because when you say that, it makes it look like, so you're saying because you know someone that's black, that means you're not racist. Don't do that. Just give your answer and be like, no, of course not. You know, we have other people that work for us. You don't have to say, my best friend is black. My friend is black. My mom's best friend is black. Don't say that, okay? Like, people don't like that. Like, that's one of those things that is like, oh man, damn it. So when she said like, you know, my mom's best friend is black, Garcelle is not going to receive it. She's like, awesome. But in her mind, she's like, sure. That's like the answer you'd give. But don't ever do that. But that's a side note anyways, in my opinion as well. But getting back to the lunch, you know, she talks about everything. Dorit is like, look, I want you to say everything you want to say. I don't want to interrupt you. I want you to say everything and then I can reply. And Garcelle says, you know, you just get under my skin. Like, you get under my skin. And it's true. It's obvious. And production, you know, flashes back because Dorit is like, when I use the word attack, we've used this word so many times in this group. I don't actually mean physical attack. And I don't know how you meant that. And then when Garcelle said, well, that was how I took it. I took it like you really meant it in the most gruesome way ever. Like, and I'm like, come on. I'm sorry. In my opinion, it wasn't that way. Like I said, I am watching it. I'm not experiencing it. But I think that's where social media too got upset because everybody's like, okay, Garcelle, calm down. They do understand the fact that the word attack is obviously sensitive around black women. Of course, even black men, because there are many times that has been used against us. You guys have no idea, and people go to jail for that. People lose their lives for that. So it's a very sensitive word to use, yes. But Dorit is not a stranger, right? Garcelle, and that's why I said Garcelle doesn't like Dorit. Bottom line, because I think that if it was any other person, she wouldn't have felt that way. She's already defensive around Dorit. So anything Dorit says is taken to the max. So I think that was why. But at the same time, I think that Garcelle kind of jumped the shark by saying all that, like Karen behavior, like, is Dorit living in the bubble? Yeah. Is she privileged? Yeah. And like Dorit said, all of us are privileged, but it's not the same kind of privilege that Garcelle is referring to. She's saying they're going to always take your word over mine. In life, we can be driving. Your life is not in danger. My life is in danger. Just walking around the store, I will not be followed. You'll be followed. Like, I'm sorry. You will not be followed. I'll be followed. That sort of privilege. And that is the day-to-day privilege that you don't even know you have. Like, you're just born with. You don't even know you have it. But of course, does Garcelle have a certain privilege than other black people because she's rich, because she lives in Beverly Hills, because she's a known actress? Of course. Doesn't mean that a police officer or someone who doesn't know her would not still treat her like a black woman and attack her or say things about her or treat her badly if they wanted to. That's just it. But guess what? A random person or a Dorit will not have that experience because of the color of their skin. These are the kind of things that I think Garcelle is trying to explain. But I do still believe that Dorit did not mean it maliciously. She didn't. I don't think the tension was also there as well. I think Dorit just uses a lot of buzzwords. And I'm happy that in the end, Garcelle was like, I'm going to try, let's move on and all of that. It's just, I don't know, it's sensitive. And I don't like the fact that Dorit doubled down on social media. It's like, I'm living in my own bubble. Girl, that was not it. And I'm sure she's probably hyped up that the fans are like on her side. That's not it as well. What you need to do is be like, hey, I acknowledge it, which she said in her confessional, which I loved. I've learned, some things today. I'm going to move forward with it. I didn't mean it that way. It doesn't even need to be an apology. It just needs to be more of an acknowledgement. I don't think there's really anything to apologize for, in my opinion. It's more of like, oh, okay, I'm now self-aware. I didn't know before. Erika has explained it to me, and you have also explained it to me now. Moving forward, I know what to do. It's more of an acknowledgement, right? And I think all parties can move forward. So that's my opinion, guys. I'll leave that now for Beverly Hills, and we can go into Miami, guys. All right. The Real Housewives of Miami, this episode, everything centered around the lunch, the mamacita Mother's Day lunch, and of course, Guerdy and Russell. I want to even talk about Guerdy and Russell first before I go into that lunch. My goodness, Guerdy, you are a strong, strong woman. And I'm so glad that Guerdy is like cancer-free. And I pray that she continues to be cancer-free forever. Russell is the best husband on Bravo. He is literally the best husband on Bravo. Not only is he hot, he is nice. He is fine. He's a good husband. What else do you want for a Bravo guy? Like, my God. Responsible. Doesn't flash his wealth up and down. He's a firefighter and working for the community. What else do you guys want? Honestly, the way you could see he was scared. You could see he was scared. Like, right from the house, trying to take her to the hospital. Even at the hospital, he was scared, but he's like trying to be brave for her because he cannot break down. Because if he breaks down, what's she going to do? She's the one going through it, but he's also going through it as well. Remarkable couple. I'm so glad the surgery went well. So emotional when she was talking to her parents. The moment her mom started crying, I just started bawling. Like, immediately I started bawling. Even though I know in real time she's cancer free, but in that moment I started bawling too. I'm like, oh my God, those are the kind of things that take you back to reality, that this life is so fragile. You have to hug the people you love, and you have to tell people you love that you love them. There's just no time for animosity, like really no time for that. Anyways, the surgery goes well. She gets back home. She rests. Thank goodness. Now, let's go back to Mamacita lunch. The Mamacita lunch, we all know Adriana has been planning this takedown for 2 weeks. Even told Julia about it, like, oh, I'm planning something. Anna is going to come for this thing, She's going to come for an event soon, which we saw in the last episode. So she, obviously, now this is where I don't know if she told Nicole what was going to happen, or she just told Nicole, bring in Anna. And I understand Nicole is like, I wasn't there 10 years ago. Babe, you weren't there 10 years ago, but you obviously know that ALEXIA and MARYSOL have issues with Anna. You may not know the exact story. You may not know how deep it is, but you know that they are not like buddies. So if you're trying to do a Mother's Day launch to sort of bring camaraderie to the group and do this thing for Lisa and celebrate mothers, why would you bring Anna for that kind of event? Knowing fully well that she's going to go down. You bring her for the kind of event that you're just chilling. That's okay. So I know that Nicole may have not known that, hey, something's going to go down with Anna coming in. But she knew that they're not good friends. Because even at the flashback at the reunion, you can see the way ALEXIA even responded when she said, oh yeah, that Anna has reached out to me, Leah has reached out to me. People send me stuff, but I don't care. You even said it, so you know they're not in good terms. You may not know exactly what happened, but you know they're not in good terms. So don't act all like innocent. Even though obviously Nicole is so innocent in the sense that Adriana planned the whole thing and Adriana just let Nicole take the blame for everything. But anyways, The lunch starts. Anna comes in with Adriana. Prior to that, Julia and Lisa start. First of all, Lisa actually asks Guerdy like, "Oh, how did you feel about the car?" Oh, sorry, it was Lassa who brought it up. Lassa was like, "Oh, how did you feel about the car that we drove in with?" And Guerdy's like, "Who cares?" Like, and I was with Guerdy in all of that. Are you trying to now undermine people who drive regular cars? Like, you're not helping your case, babe. You're married to a surgeon who is now trying to say that you're overspending, and you're trying to make it look like driving a Honda is like, and that Honda, or I don't know cars, but you know what I mean, like not a luxury car exactly. If you're driving a regular car, is a problem. What are you doing? If I was Lenny, this is like the footage I would just take to the courts and be like, this woman just doesn't get it. There are people who have 3 kids, 4 kids, and they drive those cars. So what are you talking? I understand that you have lead a particular kind of standard. It doesn't mean that you cannot drop. So I was with Guerdy and everything. Guerdy's like, look, I don't care. I'm saying forget about the luxury cars. I'm saying if it has to be with your dignity, your sanity, you take whatever you can take and start from somewhere. Because you're crying Lenny, but you don't want to let go of the money. Babe, you can't get it both ways. He's trying to frustrate you so you don't get the money or get as much money as you want. That's what he's trying to do. And that's what Guerdy is saying is like, you can just leave for your sanity if you think it's too much. And for your kids as well. But anyways, and they go back and forth about that, and she brings up the financials like, oh, you were talking about my finances. And yeah, of course, Guerdy talking about the finances is wrong. But like, I don't think Guerdy meant it that way. And then from there, Julia comes in and then into the conversation. Lisa starts talking to Julia, and I am in a weird way with Lisa on this. Yes, should she have come for the event? No, especially with the fact that police was called and her kids and everything. However, you don't say that knowing fully well she's having issues with this guy. Lenny can use that in court against Lisa. So I don't know why Julia brought that up. And of course, Lisa saying that Julia has 3 baby daddies. I saw on Twitter like Julia just found out and she's like pissed. Now, was Lisa saying that to kind of insult her? Of course. You don't even talk about your own kids. You don't even see your kids. You have 3 baby daddies. It's like, oh my God. The reunion is going to be crazy because I know Julia is like activated this season and I'm loving it. Loving every bit of it. She's a bit messy too, loving it as well. And then, of course, Kiki, chimes in and they go back and forth. And then Kiki's like, you know what? I'm leaving. And then, of course, Adriana and Lasha start because Lasha is like, hey, Adriana, why did you even invite Anna? Like, why? You're not like, it's not even your thing. Like, why did you even invite her? Knowing fully well she's going to go down. And Adriana would never cease. Adriana will always insult Lasha for like being up the Kardashians' ass for 10 years. She always loves that insult. She'll always bring up the fact that Lasha was sucking up to the Kardashians in LA for years. She'll always bring it up. And then she's like, it's not even your own event. Why do you care? Where were you 10 years ago? You were sucking up to Kardashian's ass or something. It's like, oh my God. She'll always bring that up. It's too funny. And anyway, they go back and forth as well. Kiki storms out. Now, while all this is happening, Anna's coming. They're having this, Lisa says, hey, just to be open and bring everything out. First of all, Anna comes and like tells Lisa, I'm team you, I'm praying for you, you're a wonderful mom. Flashback, we see you basically insulting her, saying she's not the kind of woman that Lenny marries. She's the kind of woman that they sleep with and like dump. What the hell? And maybe Lisa hasn't seen that before, but my goodness, really, that's even worse than every other thing that was said at the table, in my opinion. Like that Anna supposedly said, in my opinion. That was worse. But I don't know if Lisa knew. But anyways, Lisa is like, okay, I was planning on not talking to this lady, but now she's apologizing. Okay, whatever. Lisa comes and says, hey, just put her in the open. You are the reason why Alexia and MARYSOL are not here because you said some shitty things about them. And Lisa is like, yeah, you said that, you want them, you want MARYSOL dead or something like that. And then she says, not me, but my daughter calls her a rotten corpse, which is still bad. She's like, oh, my daughter is 30 years old. I can't do anything about it. Really? Whatever. You can talk to your daughter, like. But anyways, and you have also said horrible things. That's why your daughter is going to say horrible things as well, because you all don't like her. It's quite obvious. And then Lisa leaves the table, calls MARYSOL up and is like, you need to come here. I'm going to back you up. Lasha is going to back you up. You guys need to be here. And it's true. I like the fact that they came back because You don't want Anna to think you guys ran off because of her. And Adriana will be like salivating as well. And you see the cameras look at like pan to Adriana when they come in. She's like, yes, shit is about to go down. Adriana is so messy. But the problem I have with Adriana is that she doesn't follow through. She's all messy, and when they come for her, she starts crying. But anyways, they come in and make Alexia is like on it. Like, all right, let's start. They start going back and forth. And when Anna is like, yeah, tell me the things I've said about the people on the table. If I was Alexia, I wouldn't even give her any piece of, why do you care? What are you doing here? You're trying to be on the show. You're not going to be on the show. Like, you know, that kind of thing. They just attack her where it hurts and call it a day. And of course, while all this is going on, Alexia starts focusing on Nicole. Like, Nicole, you know what you did. You orchestrated all these things. You set up. And I'm like, no. Adriana should have spoken up at that point. And this is where I have the problem that I have with Adriana. You cannot start shit and hide your hand. You have to say, yeah, I brought Anna, and the reason why I brought Anna is because bring up the receipts and then let's go. But then you keep quiet and then you let Nicole take the blame for everything. I did not like that. And I'm happy that Julia is going to talk. I wish Julia even brought it up there, but at the same time, I think Julia is trying to be a friend to Alexia, so she doesn't want to like talk about her finances as well in the open. Anyway, the lunch goes horrible, which we see in the flashback that after Anna leaves, everything is fine again, like the after party. And of course, Guerdy walks out because it's just horrible for the poor lady is having surgery the next day. These crazy women are not even, allegedly, these crazy women are not even helping her out and be like, hey, this is about, like, I know it's about Lisa, but like, we need to celebrate Guerdy. Like, they didn't even do anything for the lady, and this woman is having surgery. I was happy she left because that atmosphere was not safe. Well, Guerdy leaves and Anna leaves, and then the whole thing, we find out that the after party was pretty good. They all made up and had fun. Ridiculous. And then, of course, we get to Guerdy's surgery, which I've already talked about. Whew. It went well. Russell is the best man on Bravo. Literally, the best husband on Bravo. It's the best. Then we go to Adriana visits Julia. And I think Adriana was coming to Julia's house thinking, hey, I'm going to like, let's talk about how she went down and basically laugh at our enemies. But she doesn't understand that Julia is forming this relationship with Alexia that Julia is actually liking at this point. So when Adriana is bringing it up, like, oh, you know what, tell me everything before I came. But Julia is not taking the whole thing. Julia is like, Adriana, you need to sort of tell them that you were the one that, like, you cannot let Nicole take the fall for everything that you caused. And Adriana is like pissed. And the moment Julia says, well, I'm even enjoying my friendship with Alexia, Adriana is like, what? No, you cannot be friends with my enemy. We are friends. We're supposed to have a common enemy. You cannot be the friend of my enemy. That makes you not my friend. Like, Adriana is upset. Adriana is like, I'm leaving. And Adriana is doing the right thing. I'm sorry, because Adriana is being messy and not even owning up to being messy. You don't want to bring it up. That's fine because you don't have the evidence. That's okay. Now you invite Anna to bring the evidence, but then you don't even still bring it up. And then you do it in a messy way, in a day that is not even called for. It's just so stupid. It wasn't planned out right, and then you did not even take responsibility and say, you know what, F it, I brought Anna, and this is why I brought Anna, because Alexia, you're a liar, you're this, and then it would have been great. But whatever. We see Nicole talk to Anthony about the lunch, and he's telling Anthony everything that happened, and okay, yeah, and then Adriana leaves, and then now we see Nicole talk to Anthony about the lunch, and Anthony's like, oh, I actually saw Alexia and I thought the lunch was over, and Nicole talks about everything, how she didn't know. She invited Adriana, and Adriana was going to invite Anna. She didn't know exactly what was going to go down. I believe Nicole, but obviously Nicole has to take a little bit of the blame in the sense that, babe, you knew that they were not in good terms. You didn't know the extent, but you knew they were not in good terms. So you could not have been expecting a 100% peaceful lunch in that extent. And then we see Marysol and Alexia as well talking about the lunch. And Marysol is like, Nicole. And I'm like, how are we forgetting Adriana right now? Like, it's all Adriana. Of course, it's Nicole's event, but it's Adriana's fault. We cannot forget it's Adriana's fault. I don't want Dr. Nicole to take the blame for everything, okay? All right, guys, this is the end of our episode. Thank you guys again. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't want to go too long, and I'm happy it's under 30 minutes. Please like, comment, subscribe, download, leave your review, leave constructive criticisms as well. I am reading everything. Thank you guys. Thank you. We'll talk soon. Bye.
They have me figured out.